Hello beautiful people and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Thandi Gama. Thank you so much for tuning in. I do hope you like it here and you stay. So in today's video, I'm going to be discussing my top 5 date night fragrances. These are the fragrances that I gravitate towards too whenever I'm going on a date because I am in my dating era. Yes. Okay. So guys, one thing about fragrance is that I do think it kind of makes you stand out. The perfect fragrance does make you stand out on a date. So like some of the things that I look for when it comes to picking out a date night scent is trying to smell unique. I know that's really hard because yes, we all share fragrances, but these are some of the fragrances that like just never get old, and like I always get complimented when I wear these fragrances, and more especially by the opposite sex, because hello, if you're going on a date, you are trying to impress whoever you're going on a date with, and first impressions do count. I don't know about you honey, but for me, like smelling good is so important, and I feel like it's so important for someone to reciprocate that energy and smell good for me. I'm going to be going through my top 5. Let's start with number 1. Number 1, we have Fenty by Fenty, and this is apparently a unisex perfume. It is both for men and women. I'm just gonna spritz it in the air. That smells so good. The main notes are rose, fruity, and citrus. Those are the top notes that you get, but it does have this thing where it changes throughout the day. Now, one thing about this fragrance that I love is that like when I wear this, I do get a lot of compliments. People always like, oh my gosh, what are you wearing? Because I feel like it's that perfume that everyone thought would be like a perfume for everyone, but it's not a smell that's for everyone. I know quite a few people don't really like this fragrance, but for me it's just one of those fragrances that I gravitate towards. I'll give you an example. Whenever I buy fragrance, like the first time I ever smelled this perfume, I was interested because you know there was this hype around this fragrance, and I was like, you know, I want to smell what that smells like. So I went into ARC and I sprayed this on my arm. So before I buy a fragrance, so even if I like it in the store, I do spray it on my arm and like let it settle and see how that changes on my skin throughout the day, because sometimes certain fragrances don't always wear the same on everyone else. So I remember wearing this and I stepped into another store about an hour later, and a guy did stop me and say, sorry, like what are you wearing? You smell so good. And I was like, I am wearing 2 fragrances, and I had the one that I had worn during the day, but I didn't put too much of that. So I asked him to smell my arm, and I asked him if this was what he was smelling, and he was like, yes, this is it. And I told him, I'm like, it's Fenty. He was like, this is so good, you smell so good. And I was like, oh my gosh, thank you. And he was not the first or the last person to compliment me when I wore this fragrance. So I absolutely love this when I'm going on dates. It's in the number 5. It's always like, you know, those dates where you're not really sure of. So if you're not really sure and you don't want to put your best, but you're going on a date either way, this is number 5. At number 4, we have Boss the Scent Le Parfum, and this is a very woody oud scent, and it has a bit of like a white floral in it. One thing that I love about this is that I know they have a couple of others. I don't know if they have 2 others in the same bottle, and the color is much lighter. They are not on the oud side or the woody side. They're very floral, and I remember having those and I really wasn't like super impressed, and it wasn't a fragrance I would buy again. But this, when Boss came out with this, I was like, okay Boss, you stepping up your game, because they've obviously been in the perfume industry for a while. And when I wear this and I tell people I'm wearing Boss, people are always shocked because the smell and how strong it is and how long it lasts is so unique. This has a very like it lasts on your clothes. So if you spray this on your clothes, I know some perfumes tend to like wear off. Like if you spray this on a jacket, you definitely do not need to spray again tomorrow. So I love the long lasting effect it has, and I love the fact that I've received quite a number of compliments and it's just a shocker because it's not a fragrance that everyone is gravitating towards too. So I know there's a probability that whoever I'm going on a date with has never smelled this on anyone else. Coming in at number 3, guys, when I saw this bottle, I was like, this is so unique. Now, this is one of those fragrances where you don't want to waste, like, okay, I'm gonna spray this on my skin, I'm gonna spray it on my skin because this is so good. Okay. So this is the Maison Lancome Oud Bouquet, and it is called the Signature Rose Praline. So this is like a gourmand scent. It is really strong. It is your oud. It is sweet. It has a hint of rose. Those are your top notes, and then throughout the day it also does change. Now this can be a hit or a miss. If you're one of those people who doesn't know how to like spray lightly, I will say stay away from this baby, because you can give people a headache when you wear this fragrance because it is extremely strong. So this is that fragrance where you wear 1 to 2 spritz and it is more than enough. Everyone will know you've walked into the room. The first time I smelled this, I said this is one of those fragrances where when you walk into a room, it announces itself and makes a statement. So definitely if you step into the car and let's say your date is picking you up, it will make a statement. It will be like, damn, she smells so good. So it is one of those perfumes where it does stand out and the person will say you smell good. I wore this on my birthday, but I layered it with other perfumes, and my friend said, what are you wearing? There's something new. And he noticed. Yes, me tools noticed. He was like, there's something new. And I was like, this baby. Yeah, so she is number 3 and definitely something I would recommend, and definitely unique because this was my first time seeing this perfume when Lancome gifted this to me for my birthday. So thank you, shout out to my Lancome family. Coming in at number 2, I know you guys are like, number 2, this used to be your all-time favorite. She is my all-time date night favorite, but I currently have a new baby that is in my number 1, but this is number 2. This is the Maison Francis Cotillon Oud Satin Mood, and I love this one because she has a hint of vanilla. If you are someone that loves vanilla, you will love the scent. She's also an oud. She's very strong. Much like number 3, you do not need to spray too much of this because you will overpower the room and you will give people a headache. But one thing about this one, she smells gorgeous. She smells so unique and she changes throughout the evening, so your date will literally be like, oh my god. And one thing I love about her is her transfer power. So when you spray it on the right places, when someone hugs you, it does transfer onto them and they can literally smell you for a little while. They will go home after they've given you a hug and be like, actually she smells so good and her scent is still on me. So this is one of those fragrances that like transfer and smell good. Like you will literally get a mouthful of compliments. Every time I've worn this to an event, like people have complimented me. Like everyone will be like, oh my gosh, Thandi, you smell so good. This is my little secret. This is my little secret. When I'm trying to stand out, I pull this baby out. And I feel so bad to say this, but even when I get invited to perfume events, like I will pull her out because I'm just like, I want to smell good, you know. You're being invited by a fragrance brand and they need to know you. You smell good and you deserve to be there. So usually I wear her, but I'm trying to save up on her. Like I've used quite a bit. So yeah, she is special occasions and date night fragrance number 2. Coming in at number 1 is my new baby, the Tom Ford Lavender Extreme. Now let me tell you, I've never smelled this on anyone. I'm sure there's a few people that probably use this. If you do, please comment down below and let me know your experience with this perfume. So the main scents you get from this are aromatic and obviously lavender and also vanilla. So it's really good, and it does change throughout the day, and then it becomes more spicy and woody, and like it's just such a unique scent. And like you can see how small this bottle is. I'm not even trying to spray and waste any of this. This smells super good. If out of all of these, if I would recommend you go smell any, it's obviously the top two and number one. You have to smell her. One thing about Tom Ford is that they are quite pricey, but I know they're quite pricey because they do use ingredients that are sometimes rare and hard to find in certain fragrances, and I think this happens to be one of them. So it is quite pricey, but I did get it on sale at ARC. I think the price before was like about $5,000, and then like the sale price was $3,000, I think. So I did get quite an amount off, and it's just a beautiful scent. And guys, don't sleep on the ARC sale when they have fragrance sales, because I got another fragrance, but that's more of a daytime date scent. And if you guys are interested in a daytime date scent, do comment down below so I can film that video. But she is giving everything she needs to give. I absolutely love her, and I would extremely highly recommend her. Now, I know this wasn't included. I mean, this is not a fragrance. Now, this is something extra. Sometimes we go on those dates that are a little bit extra special, you know, and you want to smell good because, hey, the after party, after the date at the restaurant is going to lead to something else, and you want to smell extremely good. I would highly recommend you get yourself this J'adore body butter, okay? There is just something about it. It smells like heaven. So obviously it smells like the J'adore fragrance, but there's something a little different about the actual body butter. I don't know what it is, but it smells so yummy. I would say apply this all over your body, and then I would pair that up with this J'adore body shimmer. Also has a fragrance to it, so you do have this lingering scent all over your body. But what's nice is that it gives you this amazing glow. So if you are standing underneath the light, I did put this over my chest, and you can put this over your décolletage and your neck. Like, it'll give you an awesome glow. And if you're wearing maybe a dress that is sleeveless, you can put this all over your arms and give yourself this beautiful glow. I think this is the perfect thing to match with your fragrances on date night. And obviously another way of just spray the perfume above the actual body butter. I know it does do a little something, like the fragrance girlies will tell you what it does, but like I've seen this all over TikTok, and it really does make a difference. So yeah, guys, these were my top 5 date night scents. These are obviously my top 5 because this is what I have in my collection at the moment. If it does change, then I will definitely update you guys with a video. But if you have any more fragrance videos that you would like me to film, please do comment down below, and I will definitely do that for you guys. And till my next video, much love. And I hope you find yourself a good date night fragrance.